Hello, let's do Wordle for Thursday, October 30th. I'm going to hit play and I'm going to turn hard mode back on. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit because I was apparently very controversial. So I've always played Wordle this way. At least, well, always, maybe when the game was very new, I might have played differently. But I basically settled on kind of this hybrid mode that I play, where I try my best to stay in hard mode. But I know beforehand that if I need to, I will do a filler. So usually I reserve that for guess 5 only. So guesses 1 through 4, I play in hard mode. For those who don't know, hard mode is where you essentially, basically my version is I try to go for the answer. Like I'd like to get it in 2, I'd like to get it in 3. That's kind of the reasoning. Also, it's just more fun to play with limitations. But I'll also do like hard mode style fillers where hard mode doesn't let you omit any yellows or greens that are in the guess, and the green has to be used in the same spot. So I play hard mode style is what I call for the first 4 guesses. Then on guess 5, I have to make a choice on whether I'm going to do a filler, like a pure filler, because if I have more than 2 options left, you kind of have to, if there's no way for them to kind of pick each other apart, especially in traps, or if I continue in hard mode. And I'd really, really try my best, like to show what the hard mode strategy would be for those who do play hard mode, to make sure you don't end up in that situation. But sometimes I just do, especially with these random starting words. So that is what hard mode is, and that's how I play. Now, I used to just leave hard mode off because I didn't really care, but very recently they've done 2 things that are important to me that I want hard mode on until I turn it off, which is I want it on so that there are hard mode badges. And if most of my solves are hard mode solves, there's no reason I shouldn't get credit towards those hard mode badges where I'm solving in hard mode. And then the second thing is when you do the bot analysis, the official Wordle bot, when you do that analysis, it knows whether you played in hard mode or not, and the analysis changes. And I want the hard mode analysis because otherwise it just says, hey, I wasn't skillful because I should have done filler on guess 2 or something. So anyway, that is my reasoning. I know that was long, but anyway, hopefully it makes sense to people now. I never had a contract with anybody that I stay in hard mode the whole time, and I've never played that way. So anyway, I'm going to start with Quest, because that is what the wheel spun yesterday. If you want to know what to start with tomorrow, I'm going to spin the wheel at the end of this solve. All right, so unfortunately no Q today, so no luck there. We did get an E and a T, which is pretty nice. I'm thinking I like to put E's at the end. It's a natural spot for them. TE feels natural. I'm sure there's plenty of other options. Like doing a T, I think honestly doing a TR ending in E, like trope, is a pretty good guess. Can I get the A is kind of the first question. This doesn't feel nice. Oh, trace would work. Didn't I guess trace yesterday as my second guess? You know what? Let's change it up and we'll do crate instead of trace. And we'll see how that goes. All right. All right. So it does end in E. This was not the T, but there is an A. So, I mean, the second most common vowel is common. I mean, it could be like a TA. Could be, that can't be TL. TR is gone. But like, A dot in the middle is often kind of difficult. But is there a word that does this? Or is there a word that does this? Neither of them look very good, do they? So like a TIE word? Katie? That's a name. Matey? Matey is Matey, and I seem to recall it was the answer a while ago. I'm not seeing this. What about TA? Otherwise, if we start with A. Or we're one of those weird plurals that end in AE, like algae. But it's not algae, so. Okay, let's look at starting with A. We have a little bit of optionality of where the T goes. 2 spots. I thought of the word attire, but there's a lot of problems with attire. First of all, it has 2 T's, not 1. Second of all, the R is gray. So it's not that. Wow, I'm having a trouble just thinking of this word, of anything to guess. Oh, how about a tone? Pretty sure a tone is one T. That looks really good. Okay, let's do a tone. All right. I thought for sure that was just going to turn green. I get it in 3, but no. All right. So we don't start with A. So A is forced here. And then we still don't know where the T goes. I'm back to this and I just don't see it. If it's not IE at the end, what is it? Is there a TA something IE? I'm not seeing it. Ooh. Wait, how do you spell taffy? No, I think it's double F double E, isn't it? No, taffy is FFY. Is there some other word I'm thinking of that would end in double E? I can't think of one. Okay. I hadn't considered double E until just now, so I wanted to look at it. Could we start with EA and then the T would be forced there? It doesn't look good, does it? Wow. Struggle. Tap, tad, tad, taff, TAI, tag, towel. If I had something to guess, I'd guess it. I can't think of a word. Tab, tabby is. I keep thinking of IE words, but like they're not. That's not how you spell it. Tam. What am I missing? I mean, it could be double T. It's not though. Okay, what about like? I just don't know what goes between that T and E. T-I-E feels like the only thing. T-P. Double E. I'm not seeing it. Shoot. Am I missing something in the clues? Sometimes I just don't see the clues properly, but this time I think we're good. Darn, a tone was so good. I thought that was going to be it. What is this word? What about like an L-A-T? Lathe. I think it's lathe. Is today the day of lathe? It is. I have a friend who's been playing Wordle since, 2022? When it was huge. Every day he plays it, and he's always started with lathe. So congratulations to my friend Worm for, that's his online handle, for getting it in 1 today, hopefully. All right. Been waiting for it to be late. I can't believe it took me so long to think of it, but there we are. All right. A lathe is like a woodworking or metalworking tool that like spins really fast and you can carve into it. Like you can make screws with a lathe, things like that. All right. He uses a programmable lathe at his job. That's his profession. All right. Anyway, fun. I wish I'd thought of it faster. I really do. Couldn't have been latte because we have this yellow T here. So I think it was just lathe. All right, let's check with the bot and see what the bot has to say here. Before we check with the bot, we got to. All right, let's spin the wheel and see what tomorrow's word is. Latch. That would have been a good start for today, wouldn't it? Holy moly, that would have been a good start for today. Well, tomorrow we will be starting with latch. And if it is an atch trap word, then we're going right into the trap. So maybe we can do some research on which atch trap words have already happened so that we can avoid that. All right, and that was suggested by Mary Monstax. All right, well, let's check with the bot now. Okay, sorry, I'm getting all twisted around. Let's pull this out. Okay, so the answer was lathe. And quest was our starting word. Wow, yeah, so it's, wow, it almost went latte here. That's crazy. I forgot that it likes to do, I always forget it likes to do double T's when you have a T. But table is the way to avoid losing. What would have, I'm curious, what latte would have lost on? Hater, apparently. All right, table. Table gets, it's down to lathe, latka, and latte. So it says pick one. So it could get it in 3. It might get it in something like 4. All right. But that's what it does. What did I do? I did crate. Is crate on the list? Nope. All right. Crate would have lost on water tater. So it's concerned about the ER trap. So guessing an E and an R at the same time, not the best idea in hard mode. All right. Bathe, lathe, latka. There's 5 answers left, and we want to go for those. Atone, bathe, lathe, latka. So atone was not good because it doesn't help any of those other words. So after atone, we're still just in the same exact situation. We want to do bathe, lathe, or latka, which get each other. So I did lathe. So for some reason I didn't think of bathe and I didn't think of latka. I'm not surprised I didn't think of latka. That's a potato pancake. All right. We already looked at its solve. Let's do tails. Wow, it might get it in 2. Yeah, I mean, lathe has a lot of the Salé letters. So it could do latka or latte though. But it could get into. Let's look at steel. From steel, it's going to go latte, interesting, and then lathe or latka. So it could get it in 3 or 4, basically. We're going to look at a dew. Going to go for trace, not crate, trace. And then we're down to bathe. It actually wants bathe over lathe. Probably there's something with a B in it. Yeah, based. It gets based. All right, audio. There's that table, and table's very good. It gets us down to maybe lathe in 3, maybe 4 or 5. Because these kind of can't tell each other apart. All right, well, what about starting with trace? It goes bathe or haste. It does not go lathe, which is slightly worse. What does haste look like? Haste is still bathe or lathe. So it could get in as much as 4, but who knows? Not 2. And then place is what the official bot starts with. We're going to go angle, and then have, and then lathe. All right. Well, let's check with the official bot. I did turn on hard mode, right? Yeah, sure did. Okay. Check with the official bot. Skill 75, luck 61, steps 4. Alrighty. So it did not like a tone. Yeah, a tone was bad, and I couldn't think of anything. What was left after a tone? Bathe, table, lathe, latka, tone. Okay, so it's the same list. Yeah, it gives a slightly lower percentage to lathe. Interesting. But lathe was the answer. It's saying go bathe or lathe or latka, so any of those get you a 99 skill score. All right. It does place, sable, lathe. Sable, interesting. That's an animal, isn't it? So instead of angle, it does sable. Does sable show up in this list? Yeah, it's actually tied. So interesting. And then lathe is tied with have. So it is making similar decisions, just not what's filtered to the top in this bot. All right. 0.1, less than 0.1% starting with quest. We got to bump those numbers up. Start with the same word as me. All right. Turn 6. 99.1% solve rate. So we have a 0.9% failure rate. People are losing on latte and latka, bathe. It's interesting that people are losing more on latte and latka than on bathe, but maybe getting that L, like a lot of people have the L because it's a common letter, so you'd include it in some guess at some point. Unless you're me. Interesting, losing on latex. So yeah, that LA trap. Start having LAT even. There's a lot of words. Losing on trace is wild. Having all those common letters left. All right, well, that is it for Wordle. Hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all of the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.